So, 2023 is coming to an end, and you've probably started setting your sights on this upcoming year. What do you have in mind for 2024? Perhaps you have some ambitious goals that you want to tackle. Maybe it's to bulk up and to put on some muscle, get those good grades and do well in school, or maybe it's to finally start your own business. This year has the potential to be the year that you start turning your life around for the better. Hi there, my name is Benson, and I'm a student currently studying psychology at a school in Cambridge. I'm on a mission to awaken the next generation of purposeful students through education and self-improvement. If you want to make 2024 the year you finally start making progress towards your goals, then you clicked on the right video. Just from your own previous experience, tell me if this is you. You set a pretty ambitious goal, you want to get straight A's on all your courses, or you want to start an online business and maybe put on 15 pounds of muscle. You would feel super motivated in the beginning to work towards those goals. You hit the gym, you do your homework, you stay on top of your assignments, and it feels great to see that you're making all this progress. It feels uncomfortable at times, but you push through it because, well, you're motivated. However, fast forward to 3 months and I come back and I ask you hey, how's your progress going with your goals? More than half of you will have already forgotten your goals and you just stop making progress towards them. You know what I'm talking about. The gym on January 1st, being super packed with enthusiastic people, riding the high of the new year. They're exercising, they're working hard on the treadmill, they're giving everything that they have in the workouts, and they're eating clean as well. But by the end of the month, those people are back on their regular diets and they just stop showing up to the gym. Anyone can set ambitious goals. Who doesn't want the six-pack or the good grades or to get rich? I remember as a 16-year-old, I told myself that I wanted to be a millionaire by 18. Well, I certainly didn't hit that goal, but the simple truth is that not everyone has what it takes to get what they deserve. A goal isn't worth striving for if it doesn't take considerable amounts of effort, but we underestimate this magnitude of effort. We think it'll be easy, you just have to set a goal, work towards it whenever you feel like it, and then eventually you'll reach it. That's easier said than done. And we're forgetting about the several nuances, the twists and turns that our goals has in between. We aren't primed to thinking that way because the media specifically highlights the major overnight success. But what we don't see is the failures, the setbacks, the rejections that they have faced along the way. Those tiny and micro decisions that they made all throughout their whole journey, their commitment to stick to their goals and to show up each and every day, the numerous things that they had to sacrifice along the way. All of that boils down to this one major thing. And once you realize what it is, it's like this mist getting unveiled, and it's a clear path between you and your goals. Can you guess what that is? It's discipline. The number one reason you don't reach your goals is quite simply because you lack discipline. The people who have the things that they want, they show up much more than you do. They put in more work, more hours, and they sacrifice, going out, partying, scrolling on TikTok, and they take responsibility for their actions. Did you know it takes about 1,000 hours to become decent at something? If you want to gain muscle, have you put in 1,000 hours in the gym yet? Have you put in 1,000 hours on your business? Probably not. Whatever goal you have in mind, just ask yourself, how many hours have I put in? If it's nowhere near 1,000, then you have to be more disciplined in how you're spending the hours in the day. As an example, let's just say that we wanted to bulk up 15 pounds of muscle. We're also going to assume that you've never been to the gym before. So you have this goal, and then now what you need to do is to set a deadline and be specific about it. The reason I say it has to be specific is because if we don't give ourselves a deadline, then we'll just keep pushing it off until the very last moment. Just like in school, when there's an essay due in a week, you just keep pushing it off until the night before. And when it's due the night before, then magically it just gets done. And that's why you should always have yourself a deadline, even for your goals. So let's just say that by December 31st, 2024, at 11:59 p.m., you will have bulked up 15 pounds of muscle. Great. Write that down on a sheet of paper and stick it up on your wall. This is a very crucial step, and when people don't do this step, a majority of them will fail. They will fail because they will lack the accountability. They aren't reminded about their goals, and especially in this current state with social media and our short attention span, it's easy to lose track of what it is that we want. We forget what it is that we want to get done, and then by the time you remember, well, it's already too late. That person next to you who has their goals written down and it's sitting on their wall, he's getting reminded every day when he sits down at his desk. And so he doesn't miss a single inch of his progress. He's been doing the work consistently and showing up every day while you're just half-assing it. And so at the end, he's just gonna take whatever it is that you want. The greatest difficulty is having the discipline to stick to your goals. You see, when we set that goal, we often think about the end results. You think that building the aesthetic physique will be easy. It's a clearly laid out path, and that you'll have the body just by working out whenever you want to. You know that's not the truth. And in order to reach that goal, you have to visualize the whole process, the setbacks, the challenges that may arise, and then make a plan for it. There will be things distracting and veering you off course from your goals. Sometimes it's external, and you won't have any control over it, like an injury or some adverse weather or family circumstances. Those things you can't really plan for it, but by having a stoic approach to life, this idea of an infinite game that I always preach about, you know that the suffering is only temporary. There's no use blaming it on other things. You should have just started preparing sooner. If you're recovering from an injury, then just why not take the time to develop your mindset more? Train your mind and then take action on the things that you can do. And then once you're all healed and recovered, and you've been sharpening your mind for like the past few weeks, then tackling that goal is just going to be so much easier. Most of the time, however, the distractions towards your goals come from within. It's internal, and it's self-inflicted by our actions and thoughts. It's when we have that shitty night of rest, we procrastinate, and we make poor decisions that put more pressure on our future selves. All of those things you have to recognize is stopping you from getting closer to your goals. And I'm going to be super honest with you that your goals and your ambitions won't mean much to the next person. They could care less what it is that you want, because they probably want the same thing as well. And then there's also people who would genuinely laugh at your goals. It hasn't happened to me, but I say this to say that you need to be confident with your goals. Safeguard it and keep it close to you, and stop letting those people tell you to do one thing over another and getting yourself into situations that will prevent you from getting closer to your goals. Develop that discipline and ask yourself, do I deserve to reap the benefits of my goals? If you've been doing the right things, showing up to do the work, pouring thousands of hours into honing your skills and practicing, don't you think that you will reach your goals simply as a byproduct? When you become so good at something and deserving of your goal, the world will have no choice but to give it to you. And I think that's how we should all be thinking when it comes to setting and reaching our goals. But I guarantee you that for the majority of us, we want all the benefits of our goals, but are not willing to do what it takes to get them. We don't want to pour in those hours. We just desire comfort, and anything that requires difficulty, well, we just quite simply give up. And the truth is, you will be tested on your goals, whether you like it or not. There will be friction, a lot of friction, hardship, pain, discomfort, and even sacrifices that you have to be willing to make in order to reach what you want. You see, for the first couple of days after you set your goal, doing the work feels easy. You log the workouts, the next one, then the day after, you're feeling motivated and hyped with this progress that you've been making, and so pushing through the discomfort feels easy. But what about when that motivation falls off and staggers? When your muscles become more sore, your workouts become more difficult, and then your P-sets start taking longer to finish. What will you do then? Will you just put off your goal? You're just gonna skip that workout so then you can submit that P-set on time? It's easy to say no right now, but it won't be a clear-cut answer a month from now. And that's why it's ever so important to start training and developing up your discipline. Without it, no matter how determined you are to achieve your goals, you will fail. That goal will become almost meaningless in the presence of adversity, and you will feel constrained with your time, and that workout won't feel as good anymore, and your progress will just slow down. And then you'll start sleeping less, and then you just go down this endless spiral, and then you just end up giving up on your goals. And that's why the majority of people will start waving the white flag around like February, when they've just set this New Year resolution. You have to be unwilling to toss in the towel to be able to continue making progress towards your goals despite whatever the universe might throw at you. And it doesn't even have to be much. Even if it's just one push-up, that's simply enough to just keep the momentum going. And it's actually so straightforward when you think about it. Those who lack the discipline will make some progress initially, but just when it starts to feel a little bit challenging, let's say the assignments start piling up, or your body is feeling sore, and you're tired and you're not motivated to go to the gym, they just ended up calling it quits. They just skip the workout. And then one day becomes two, and then before you know it, they just stop going to the gym completely. But what if instead you do a couple of push-ups because you're constrained with your time? You would still feel good that you're making a little progress. It's not significant, but it keeps the momentum forward. And so once you begin to realize that even if it's just a little bit of progress, when the days get rough, those days will still compound over time. And then the next day, you just go back to the gym and you hit the workout again. And then you'll be moving faster towards your goals than someone who, let's just say, just skipped a whole day. But for the veterans of discipline, I'm speaking to you if you have been leveling up your discipline recently. If you want to dominate the game, then you know that it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. You'll still find a way to get your tasks done. If I'm back at home for winter break and I don't have all my equipment to film, then fine, I'll just figure out a way around it. Rather than listening to my brain and doing what's comfortable, to relax and not post for a month since it's winter break, everyone around me is just resting and relaxing, maybe I should take a break. Nah, fuck that. I'm still going to find a way to script, to record, to edit, and also post a video. I'm going to China next week, and sure, I won't be able to post any videos there, but I'm still going to keep learning and to develop my skills so that in the future, once I come back, I can start making better videos. And so the next time you catch yourself surrendering to these comforting thoughts, I want you to almost get angry at yourself. The next time your brain is telling you, oh, like you've been working so hard already for the past week. You deserve a break. Look, it's like winter break and everyone around you is resting. You should too. I want you to get mad at yourself and tell yourself, no, I'm not going to do that. You don't want to be those people who have 8 hours of screen time and they're feeling miserable each day. There was a side chat post. I don't know if you know what side chat is, but this one person was literally saying how he was feeling lonely and depressed after getting back home after finals. You're literally going to be depressed and mindlessly scrolling anyways when you're taking a break. So why not just do the work and make progress towards your goals? But I'm not going to lie to you. On multiple occasions, I have slipped up. You will feel this resistance. It's what you've been doing for the past decade of your life, and you aren't holding yourself accountable to your goals. No one's behind us all the time telling us to, keep going, keep pushing, to persist through the pain. In the beginning, I did skip the workouts. I procrastinated on scripting the videos, and I quite literally slept in when I should have gotten up early. It's inevitable that we will fall, but it's about having the discipline to show up the next day and the next time to try it again. Figure out what it is that's causing you to slip up and to prevent that from happening next time. If it's because you slept too late, then just go to bed earlier. Almost get mad at yourself for slipping up, but you should still have the humility to get up again and to try. Just by doing that, it's significantly better than just giving up on your goals. And also keep this in mind. Your brain knows your weaknesses very well, and it will make the most convincing, most appealing arguments to you. Almost 100% of the time, it would sound to you like it's the right decision to make. So you need to have this presence of mind to know that it's not the right decision. And the reason that you're not achieving your goals is not because you don't have the necessary tools and equipment or the perfect workout routine or this secret study tactic. It's quite simply the fact that you listen to those thoughts that your brain is feeding you, making excuses for you to not do the work. It's quite literally coping, and you're giving into the cope. You are where you are now because you listen to your brain. Ask yourself, are you satisfied with where you are right now? Would you blindly trust and follow the thoughts that your mind is feeding you, even though it hasn't gotten you to where you want to be at all? Of course not. You need to stop trusting what your mind is telling you. Develop this presence of mind to recognize that it's your brain avoiding discomfort, and it's making excuses to delay that progress towards your goals. And if you keep listening to those thoughts of skipping the gym, scrolling a little bit longer, play the extra hours of video games, you will quite literally never end up where you want to be. And that goal that you have, well, you can just forget about it because it will remain a distant dream. And I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you guys and say like, hey guys, check out my new course. I have nothing to sell you at the moment. And the thing is, the things that I'm saying right now, I genuinely wish someone had told me earlier when I first started setting goals. At its core, reaching your goals requires you to be disciplined, being able to resist the temptations of doing what's comfortable, and doing the task regardless of whatever the fuck the world is telling you. Hit the workout even when the weather is not ideal. Do it even when you're feeling tired. I don't care if you have problem sets or tons of homework to do. Just go to the gym anyways. It'll take like literally an hour. One last thing I will have to say is about sacrifice. If you truly want to accomplish your goals, there will be sacrifices to be made. Understand that you have a limited time. We all do. We all have the same 24 hours. The reason some people have the things that we want is because they've sacrificed more things than us. Instead of going out with friends, they've poured the hours into their goals. They went to bed and woke up early so they're functioning at their best. And they prioritize their goals over some cheap pleasure. This is why you never reach the goals you set. Not only must you be disciplined with your goals, but there will come a time when you have to choose between hanging out with your friends or going to bed early. You will have to sacrifice even the second best option in order to get closer to your goals. And trust me, I've been on both sides of this coin, and you would think that going out is great, but you will regret that decision. If you're indulging in pleasure now, you'll wake up the next day feeling like shit, and you won't even move an inch closer to your goals. You will not make significant progress if you don't start narrowing down your energy and focus. You don't want to be the jack of all trades and master of none. Instead, you should prioritize and focus on becoming so good at something that everything else just doesn't matter anymore. A successful entrepreneur could care less about what grades they got in class. They got to where they are now by being focused and building up their business, honing their skills and learning from others. They're testing different ideas and they're experimenting with different models. They're not going to find that regurgitating useless facts in bio class to be useful to them at all. So, you should keep Pareto's principle in mind. You can get close to 80% of the results with just 20% of your effort and time. And now that I'm a college student, I don't place such a heavy emphasis on getting the best grades in my class. I realized quite early that there's no use competing for that because, well, it doesn't serve me in the future. And also, I have classmates who invested all of their time, even their childhood, on a certain topic. And so it's obviously very shallow for me to even try and consider beating them out. Instead, what I do is I spend about 20% of my time, maybe a little bit more, making sure that I learn the content that I find interesting and helpful for my classes. And I'm fine getting an 80% in my class because I'm spending my other time doing things that I'm more passionate about. I'm not religiously following the textbook and making sure that I get the best grades on every assignment, because that's not what my goals are. And you have to realize sacrifices like this will have to be made if you want to get closer to your goals. And at the end of the day, you cannot expect to make significant progress in all areas of your life, especially at once. You will have to make sacrifices and determine what it is that you want more. That doesn't mean you have to drop all of your friends and to just completely stop trying in school. It just means that you have to minimize the effort and the commitment, but also still getting the biggest bang for your buck on all of these tasks. As an example, if you're a student, making pretty notes is not an effective use of the 20% of your time. Instead, it's about figuring out what it is that you need to know and then actively using learning methods that will help you retain the material better. You'll have to cut out or minimize the things that are not currently in alignment with your goals. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay to see another area of your life lag behind a little bit. We're playing an infinite game here, so I'm not pressed if my social life is not the best right now. And to be honest, I think I would rather be around people who share the same ambitions as me than to settle and be friends with people who just, have a mutual connection or just around me at the time. Remember, no one will believe in your goals more than yourself. You are the biggest advocate for your goals, but it's not enough to just set the goals and expect yourself to reach it without any discipline. You will feel unmotivated, directionless at times, maybe even lose a couple of friends in the process. But all of it is the price you pay to get the most out of your life. And if you're a student, well, you quite literally have so much time in the future to make lifelong friends and meet high quality people. And once you develop that discipline, it will serve you quite literally for the rest of your life. This is what it takes to reach your goals and to set yourself apart from all of your peers. When you catch yourself coping, just do the work anyways. Do what feels uncomfortable, and that exact thing will just move you closer to your goals. I hope this video was insightful to you in many ways. The beauty behind self-improvement in the infinite game is that we are always given this chance to improve and get better. And I'm fortunate enough to share what it is that I learned, and I wish you the best of luck to your 2024 goals. And remember, you're here to play the infinite game. See you in 2024. Take action.